It's
नहीं दिख रहा है क्या?
नहीं नहीं, आई एम रीडिंग फ्रॉम माय बुक, बट या इट्स वेरी मच क्लियर।
अच्छा अच्छा, आपके बुक से रीड कर रहे हैं, ठीक है ठीक।
आपको ऐसे
ओके प्लीज गो अहेड, आई एम सॉरी, आई इंटरप्टेड।
आपको ऐसे क्यों लग रहा था? आई डोंट नो।
नहीं नहीं, मेरे को जस्ट ऐसा डाउट हुआ, कोई भी ऐसा रेस्पॉन्ड नहीं कर रहा ना, तो उसके लिए मैं।
ओके।
नो प्रॉब्लम नो प्रॉब्लम, प्लीज गो अहेड। मेरे को यहाँ इंटरनेट भी थोड़ा स्टेबल नहीं है आज, उसके लिए। और कुछ नहीं, आपके साइड से नहीं, मेरे साइड से मेरा इंटरनेट ठीक है क्या?
ओके, एनीबody else wants to take ahead? Otherwise I am loving to read.
या प्लीज कंटिन्यू, कोई नाम दिया है क्या? कंटिन्यू।
नहीं नहीं, ओनली आप, मैं, मानसी और मनीष जी हैं, 4 लोग हैं सिर्फ।
शिल्पा हैज लेफ्ट, ओके। Okay, okay. Then you continue, no, till anyone joins and puts their name.
ओके,
Or
थैंक यू।
I'm sorry I interrupted.
नो नो, नो issues at all. So, my weekly Latin class is a whole lot of fun for me. I have been meeting for 4 years now with a few other individuals to sight read Latin, review grammar, and talk about whatever comes up in a conversation. I fell in love with the Latin language in high school and never had the opportunity to pursue further study till now, until now. And that has made me very, very happy. What is fun for me? Anything creative? Anything? The best fun is the kind of coloring book that has very complex picture on only one side of the page and a new box of a beautifully sharpened color pencil. Next best, a piece of stamp material and the colored cotton floss required to complete the embroidery. So sweet. Here is a tough one. I do not find it particularly fun to sit on the floor and play with my children with their toys. I love cooking with them, reading to them, talking to them, watching movies with them, going on walk with them, and taking them to age appropriate places. My idea of a really good time is to pick up my 5-year-old up from school and go out for a snack. But I don't find playing with the Polly Pockets with the older one or little people with the younger one particularly fun. And I feel very guilty about that at times. For me, fun is debating, tinkling, uh, uh, it would be tinkering.
Yes, tinkering.
Thank you. For me, fun is debating, tinkering, example, inside the gut of hardware or software, building hardware, software, reading blogs of all kind, telling my kids stories of my youth. Seriously, I have some of the realization that I don't have fun anymore. I have got to do something about this before I become a glum, boring, sad person. Like that last commenter, I want to bring more fun into my life. Find more fun. When I thought about fun, I realized to my surprise that I didn't have a good sense of what I found fun. Only recently I had grasped one of my most important secret of adulthood. Just because something was fun for someone else didn't mean it was fun for me, and vice versa. There are many things that other people enjoy that I don't. I love the idea of playing chess, going to a lecture on an international market, doing crossword puzzles, getting a pedicure, eating a dinner at a hot new restaurant, or having a subscription to the opera or a season ticket to the Knicks. I can see exactly why other people enjoy these activities. I wish I enjoyed them, but I don't. Some block leader experience the same tension. Over the last few years, I started figuring out what I really find fun. I realized I had a lot of stuff and activities in my life that I didn't enjoy. These were things that others find fun, but they just weren't to me. Accepting that what other find fun would necessarily be fun for me, like a huge breakthrough. It is hard enough to stay in touch with what fun. It is hard enough to stay in touch with what fun for you without thinking. that you should find something that enjoys others find fun. For instance, I enjoy movies, but there are cheaper activities that I enjoy much more. So I have gradually cut them out of my life. I will go occasionally with a friend, but I don't watch nearly as many as I used to, and I used to watch a couple a week. My husband posed this question to me a year and so ago. What do you find fun? And I had to think long and hard about it. Most of my pleasure are quiet and solitary. I love to be observed in a good book. I love to do a needlework. I love to make a jewelry. I have given myself permission to say that that is okay. I do love to play board games, though especially with my children. My understanding of a fun is definitely not the same for other people. I enjoy solitary, quiet things. Even the sport I enjoy are quiet ones. Reading is fun, both books and blogs. Computer programming is fun. Diving and mountain climbing are fun. Yoga is fun. Shopping, on the other hand, which girls are supposed to enjoy, is definitely not fun. Parties are generally not fun either. Parnaviji, Richa would you like to take ahead? I tended to
Yeah,
over
anyone? Yeah.
I tended to overrate the fun activities that I didn't do and underrate my own inclinations. I felt the things that other people enjoyed were more valuable or more cultured, more well legitimate. But now it was time to be. Can you help me out, Tipaji?
Gretchen. Be Gretchen. Gretchen.
Thank you.
Gretchen.
But now it was time to be Gretchen. Uh, I needed to acknowledge to myself what I enjoyed, not what I wished I enjoyed. If something was really fun for me, it would pass this test. I looked forward to it. I found it energizing, not draining, and I didn't feel guilty about it later. I told a friend about my quest, and she said, Gosh, if I had something fun I wanted to do, I feel frustrated because I won't have time for it. I don't want to add anything else on my plate. This struck me as a bleak view, but it was something I might well have said myself in the past. My happiness project has shown me that I was better off saying I have plenty of time to have fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pallavi. That was a beautiful start for the May month. Lovely. Who'd like to continue? Is there any reader?
I'm
Yeah, is it Pranavi? Would you like
I
to
can
take
read
over?
it.
Any
I can also read.
has written.
Yeah, yeah, Mansi. Please go ahead then. Please mute if anyone has put their mic
Yeah,
on by accident.
I gave you the access to see that. I'm not able to somehow mute her.
Okay, I'll do.
Okay. They have made her mute now. I don't know why, in spite of mute, putting the mute, she's not on mute. Okay, finally. Okay, I'll just make you the host, also Deepa, or co-host because the live streaming is going on. So maybe that will be a problem otherwise. Okay, I'll just read. Okay. But what exactly did I find fun? What did I want to do? I couldn't think of much. Well, there was one thing. I really loved reading children's literature. I've never quite figured out what I get from children's literature that I don't get from adult literature, but there's something. The difference between novels of adults and novels of children isn't merely a matter of cover design, bookstore placement, and the age of the protagonist. It's a certain quality of atmosphere. Children's literature often deals openly with the most transcendent themes, such as the battle between good and evil and the supreme power of love. These books don't gloss over the horror and fascination of evil, but in the end, in even the most realistic novels, good triumphs. Novelists for adults don't usually write that way. Perhaps they fear being seen as sentimental or priggish or simplistic. Instead, they focus on guilt, hypocrisy, the perversion of good intentions, the cruel workings of faith, social criticism, the slipperiness of language, the inevitability of death, sexual passion, unjust accusation, and the like. These are grand literary themes. Yet, I also find it enormously satisfying to see good prevail over evil, to see virtue vindicated and wrongdoing punished. I love didactic writing where, whether by Tolstoy or Medellini L. Engel. What's more, in keeping with this good versus evil worldview, children's literature often plunges a reader into a world of archetypes. Certain images have a queer power to excite the imagination, and children's literature uses them with brilliant effect. Books such as Peter Pan, The Golden Compass, and The Bluebird operate on a symbolic level and are penetrated with meanings that can't be fully worked out. Adult novels do sometimes have this atmosphere, but it's much rarer. I love to return to the world of stark good and evil, of talking animals and fulfilled prophecies. But my passionate interest in kidlit did fit with my ideas of what I wished I were like. It wasn't grown up enough. I wanted to be interested in serious literature, constitutional law, the economy, art, and other adult subjects. And I'm interested in those topics, but I somehow felt embarrassed by my love of J.R.R. Tolkien, E.L. Konigsberg, and Elizabeth Enright. I repressed this side of my personality to such a degree that when one of my Harry Potter books came out, I didn't buy it for several days. I'd fooled even myself to thinking that I didn't care. If I was going to be serious about play, I needed to embrace this suppressed passion and have more fun with it. But how? While I was trying to figure that out, I had lunch with an acquaintance who was a polished, intimidating, well established literary agent. We were having a weird like to become friends, but haven't figured out how yet kind of conversation. When I mentioned how much I loved Stephen King's The Stand, now I felt as though this was a bit of a risk because I feared she might be the kind of person who would disdain Stephen King. I love Stephen King and I love The Stand, she said. Then she added, but it's not as good as Harry Potter. Oh, do you like Harry Potter? I'm obsessed with Harry Potter. Eureka, I'd found a kindred spirit. Kindred spirit, I don't know what's exactly. We talked about nothing but Harry Potter for the rest of lunch. As we talked, it occurred to me I knew a third person who also loved children's literature. Could we start a book group? Let me float an idea by you, I said tentatively as we were paying. Do you think we might want to start a children's literature reading group? A reading group for reading children's books? Like what? Whatever we want. The Giver, The Secret Garden, James and the Giant Peach, whatever. We could take turns meeting for dinner. Sure, that could be fun, she said enthusiastically. Fortunately, if we had said no, I'm not sure I would have asked anyone else. I have a friend who might be interested in joining too. So I sent out a few emails and started asking around. Once I spoke up, I was startled to discover that I already knew and liked many people who shared my passion because I'd never mentioned my interest and never known about theirs. For our first meeting, I sent around an email inviting everyone to my apartment for dinner to discuss C.S. Lewis's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. At the end of the email, I included a quotation from Lewis' brilliant essay on three ways of writing for children. When I was 10, I read fairy tales in secret and would have been ashamed if I had been found doing so. Now that I'm 50, I read them openly. When I became a man, I put away childish things, including the fear of childishness and the desire to be very grown up. Wow, this is so beautiful. I'll read it again. When I was 10, I read fairy tales in secret and would have been ashamed if I had been found doing so. Now that I'm 50, I read them openly. When I became a man, I put away childish things, including the fear of childishness and the desire to be very grown up. This apologia didn't mean much to anyone else in the group because they never tried to squash their interest in children's literature. Why had I? No more. From our very first meeting, this group was a huge source of fun for me. I love the people, I love the books, I love the discussions. I love the fact that many of the people in the group didn't have children, so there was no question about the fact that we were reading children's literature for ourselves. I loved our kidlit tradition, and the dinner's host must serve some food that tied in with the book. I started when I served Turkish delight for dessert at the first meeting because Turkish delight plays a significant role in The Lion, The Witch, and The Wardrobe. At our next meeting, we drank Tokay, the wine that appears at a key moment in Philip Pullman's The Golden Compass. I was surprised to discover that Tokay was real and assumed it was part of Lyra's world. For Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, we ate mock turtle soup and treacle tart. For Blue Bellet's Chasing Vermeer, the blue M&Ms that are signature candy eaten by Petra and Calder. For Louisa May Alcott's Little Woman, Meg's Mangue, which Joe takes to Laurie the first time they meet at the dinner to discuss Louis Scar's holes. We ate Dunkin' Donuts donut holes for the pun. Study shows that each common interest between people boosts the chances of a lasting relationship and also brings about a 2% increase in life satisfaction. This group gave me a bunch of new friends and a lift in life satisfaction that felt much higher than 2%. Also, it was fun just being part of a new group. Group membership makes people feel closer and brings a significant boost in personal confidence and happiness. My contrast around the same time I was elected to the Council on Foreign Relations. Interesting subject, interesting group, and so very legitimate. Which group brought me more pleasure? Which helped me form new relationships? Kidlit. I'm passionate about Winston Churchill. I'm passionate about John Kennedy. But the truth is, I'm not passionate about foreign relations. So that group didn't form as solid a basis for fun for me. So once again, one of my resolutions led me right back to my first commandments. Be Gretchen. I had to know and pursue what was truly fun for me. That was the road that led to happiness. But what else, besides the children's literature reading group, could I do for fun? I was stumped. Was I so cheerless and dull that I couldn't think of a single other thing? One thing that's both good and bad about living in New York City is the sense that I could be doing so much, going to the ballet, going to an off Broadway play, taking a graphic design class, shopping in Williamsburg, eating in Astoria, but I almost never do those things, so the possibilities are exciting but also a reproach. I've been haunted for years by a public service poster I saw just one time in the subway. It was a photo of a Chinese food takeout container sitting in top of two videos. The caption read, "If this is how you spend your time, why are you living in the New York?" Fun abounded in New York City. If only I had the largeness of spirit to tap into it. I told a friend that I was trying to have more fun. Instead of pointing me toward the goings on about town column in the New Yorker, she asked me a question. What did you like to do when you were a child? What you enjoyed as a 10-year-old is probably something you'd enjoy now. That was an intriguing idea. I remembered that Carl Jung, when he was 38 years old, had decided to start playing with building blocks again to tap into the enthusiasm he'd felt as an 11-year-old. What had I done for fun as a child? No chess, no ice skating, no painting. I worked on my blank boots. एक minute, huh? There is someone at the door. Blank books for my 10th birthday. My uncle had given me a book that looked like an ordinary book, but with blank pages, titled Blank Book. Okay, just a minute. Someone can take over? Hello? I have someone at the door. Can someone please take over? No one?
Sure, I can. Where do I have to start?
Yeah, please.
That was an intriguing idea. From there,
No, it was the blank book, so I'll just. Oh, I can read if you don't want to. If you want to, please continue. Uh, so it is. Uh, yeah, that was an intriguing. That's
I
the para.
worked on
Yeah.
my, yeah.
You can start.
Okay, let me start from the beginning of that para.
Yeah, yeah. Please go on.
Okay. That was an intriguing idea. I remembered that Carl Jung, when he was 38 years old, had decided to start playing with building blocks again to tap into the enthusiasm he had felt as an 11-year-old. What had I done for fun as a child? No chess, no ice skating, no painting. I worked on my blank books. Oh, the screen went away. Was it you, Deepa, who was sharing? Okay. I worked on my blank books. For my 10th birthday, my uncle had given me a book that looked like an ordinary book but with blank pages, titled Blank Book. Now such books can be bought anywhere. But when I got this one, I had never seen anything like it. Before long, I had bought several more. I turned my blank books into commonplace books filled with clippings, memorabilia, notes from school friends, cartoons, lists, snatches of information that interested me, jokes cut from my grandparents' back copies of Reader's Digest sometimes found their way in. A special series of my blank books were illustrated books of quotations. Every time I read a quotation I liked, I would write it on a slip of paper, and when I saw a picture in a magazine that I liked, I would cut it out, and I created my books by matching the quotations to the pictures. Keeping up with my blank books was the main leisure activity of my childhood. Every day after school, I sat on the floor sorting, cutting, matching, copying, and pasting while I watched TV. I set off to replicate this experience. I was eager to give it a try, plus, I thought of another potential benefit. I had noticed that many of the most creative people are inveterate keepers of scrapbooks, inspiration boards, or other magpie. I don't know how to pronounce this. Other magpie or magpie creations. Twyla Tharp, for example, dedicates a file box to every project she begins. And as she works on the dance, she fills the box with the material that inspired her. Having some kind of physical way of preserving information keeps good ideas vivid and creates unexpected juxtapositions. I bought a huge scrapbook and started looking for items to include. a motley assortment emerged. A portrait of Princess Diana made of tiny photographs of flowers, a review from the New York Review of Books about books of ours, a photograph of an artwork by Portia Manson called Pink Project 1994, made of a table covered by pink objects, a map of the counties of England, which I wished I'd had when I was writing my Churchill biography. One playing card from the pack I took from my grandparents' house after they both died, decorated with a Thomas Kincaid like picture of a watermill. Working on my new blank book made me look at magazines and newspapers in a different way. If something caught my attention, I would think, why am I looking at this for a second time? Is it worth keeping for my blank book? I was a less passive recipient of information. I also liked the process of cutting, placing, and pasting, so familiar from my childhood. All this thinking about fun made me realize that I had to make time for it. Too often, I would give up fun in order to work. I often felt so overwhelmed by tasks that I would think the most fun would be to cross some items off my to do list. I would feel so much better if I could get something accomplished. I felt virtuous when I delayed gluing pictures into my scrapbook in order to deal with my email. In fact, though, turning from one chore to another just made me feel trapped and drained. When I took the time to do something that was truly fun for me, to reread the Phantom Tool Booth for the 15th time, for instance, or to call my sister, I felt better a- able to tackle my to-do list. Fun is energizing. But I have to admit it, being Gretchen and accepting my true likes and dislikes bring me a kind of sadness. I will never visit a jazz club at midnight, hang out in artist suit studios, jet off to Paris for the weekend, or pack up to go fly fishing on a spring dawn. I won't be admired for my chic wardrobe or be appointed to a high government office. I will never stand in line to buy tickets to the ring cycle. I love fortune cookies and refuse to try foie gras. It makes me sad for two reasons. First, it makes me sad to realize my limitations. The world offers so much beauty, so much fun, and I'm unable to appreciate most of it. But it also makes me sad because, in many ways, I wish I were different. One of my secrets of adulthood is you can choose what you do, you can't choose what you like to do. Wow, I'm going to repeat this. You can choose what you do, you can't choose what you like to do. I have a lot of notions about what I wish I liked to do, about the subjects and occupations that I wish interested me. But it doesn't matter what I wish I were like. I am Gretchen. When I posted on my blog about the sadness of a happy project, I was astounded by the response. I had thought it unlikely that my sentiments would resonate with anyone else, but dozens of people commented. This post really resonates with me because this is exactly what's been on my mind lately. I'm currently going through a period of major change, and as always, they make you think. And I realize I will never be an astronaut. I will never know what it's like to be someone else, live a different life. Like you say, the world is so big, and I wonder if I'm missing out. I will never be an F1 racer. I will never be a supermodel. I will never know what it's like to fight in a war, to be a dancer on a cruise ship, to be a dealer in Las Vegas. Not because they are entirely impossible to achieve, but because I can't dance. I tried. I can't take G forces. I can't even ride a roller coaster. I'm not tall or pretty enough. I hate physics and maths, so I can't be an astronaut. This is less about whether I can actually do any of those things, but more about whether I would actually want to do them or to be dedicated enough to work towards them. I will never be that person. It has taken me decades to even accept that the hairstyles I like can't be done with my actual hair. I don't remember the exact date, but I remember the incident very clearly. One day, I was about 34 years old. It dawned on me I can do anything I want, but I can't do everything I want. Life changing. I think most of us feel the same way. I am a college student, majoring in English and trying to figure out what path to take. I am an English major because I like to read. There are so many things I can do that involve books, but I am undecided. I think almost daily I grieve for my limitations. I will probably never set foot in any club, but my passions give me such joy. I followed your lead, and one of my commandments is to be Catherine. I would rather spend the night reading a great book than dancing in a club. I love children's books and check out dozens every time I go to the library. I think by knowing who we are as people and being ourselves, we can start making the world better. I remember when I turned 25 and realized I would never be a Rhodes Scholar. The fact that I'd never wanted to be such, never applied or even looked into it, was beside the point. It was the closing of an option. I'm now looking down the barrel of not having the opportunity to have children. Always thought I would think about it or decide when I met my future husband. Still haven't met him if he exists, but time waits for no ovary. It's part of being human, isn't it? And more particularly, so in the world we live in. We see so much of what other people do, have, are, but then there is the majority of humanity who have so much less than us. We are the rich, privileged West. That usually sobers me up when I start comparing my material situation to that of others who have X, Y, or Z. I look at people 10 years younger than me earning six-figure incomes in corporate jobs, and I think I wish I wanted to do that, but I am an artist at heart, and my path to financial security is a different one. I fought it for years and was insanely unhappy. Now I'm following the artistic path. I'm flat broke, worry about money nearly all the time, but I'm insanely happy, except when I get the moments of wishing I could make life easier for myself and follow the crowd. It's so true, and I do think about those things sometimes, especially as I'm getting older. There are no do overs, and some things just aren't going to happen. It does make me a little sad sometimes. I just have to embrace what is. I relate to what you say here more than I would like to admit. I would like to be this really cool, easygoing person who gets along with everyone. But that isn't me. Not really. I don't feel comfortable in strange situations and I get more uptight about things than I like and I make friends slowly. I want to be different and I'm pretty good at pretending, but it can be hard. Can you scroll down a little bit, Deepa? Thank you. I want to be different and I'm pretty good at pretending, but it can be hard to deny that inside I'm shy. In the same way, I would like my husband to change sometimes, and I have to remind myself that is unfair and unrealistic. Plus, I love him just the way he is. I actually lost a friendship because I couldn't tell the difference between what I sometimes wished I was and what I was actually willing to become. I always had a touch of envy for those women who go out in grand style enjoying their cosmopolitans and discussing high fashion. I had a friend, however, who actually became that and decided she was no longer interested in me because I didn't become that person. I wonder to this day if I'm partially to blame for that, as I probably led her to believe that I was willing to go in that direction. But the thing is, when given the choice, I would much rather stay home. I am such a homebody. And I really don't enjoy crowds, bars, or getting all dolled up, to be honest. Thanks for this post. It makes me realize that perhaps I can learn to be okay with being me, just as I am. Ah, the constant tug between striving and accepting. I've never figured this out, except to say that it seems like a balance of necessary opposites. And yes, it can be sad while being busy and running out and fulfilling all things on my dreams or desires list. I am not just accepting myself as is and letting me be me as is. I'm pushing myself. And yet, if I don't push myself, I find I can be dissatisfied with things about me and my life. I figure there is a time for both pursuing and accepting. For me, I always wanted to start my own business. I pursued the idea of being a businessman. However, whenever I tried to do things I thought businessmen should do, I would not really, I would not be really happy. I would read certain magazines or do different things. Instead, I try and make no plan on how to be a businessman and just do what sounds interesting, appealing, or feels like the right next step. I find I am still trending in a direction towards starting my own tech business, but in a different way than I thought I should, and it feels great at every step. Looking back, I feel the things I should have done were not the things that brought me towards my goal anyway, and were taking me away from it and wasting a ton of time. You also mentioned the idea of regret for not appreciating something that you think must have some beauty, which you cannot see. I understand this as well, but maybe instead of focusing your mind on this, you look at those things that do have a beauty to you now and look at them more and more. Everything has its own beauty. Some appeal to us more than others. Our lives are in the space between Isaiah, Isaiah Berlin's We Are Doomed to Choose, and every choice may entail an irreplaceable loss, and Borges' Garden of Forking Paths, where every choice produces a quantum explosion of alternate futures. Ich bin in Berliner, for the most part, have a hard time seeing past the irreparable losses. I'm looking at the time, like, I don't know how much we are left with. Do we want to continue?
I think this last para is in continuation. So you read that and then maybe Deepa will take a call on
Yeah,
that.
okay, okay. Seeing this response was comforting. I realized that just as clearing away my nostalgic clutter and my aspirational clutter in January had opened up more space for the possessions I really use in the present, relinquishing my fantasies of what I wished I found, fun allowed me more room to do the things that I did find fun. Why worry about jazz clubs when I really wanted to design my own book of hours? B. Gretchen. Okay, it's starting with a new section.
I got
Yes,
muted.
Deepa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm,
Oh, many people are gone. I don't know why. Okay, yeah, yeah,
so would
Deepa.
anyone like to talk about what we have read today? It's all about fun. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are, you are.
I'm not audible.
You are audible. Can you
Yeah,
hear
one
me?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
audible
you are
and
audible.
yeah. Am I
You are
audible to
audible
everyone?
too. Yes, yes, you
Okay.
are audible.
Okay.
Yes.
So we are almost 60% through our May reading. So would anyone like to reflect on what we have read today? The concept of fun, how you define fun. So fun is something different from person to person that Gretchen has been telling repeatedly. What is fun for another person might be a limitation for another person. So we can choose to have our fun based on how we relate to it. So anyone would like to share their idea of fun and how they have fun? Is it like reading a book, painting, drawing, dreaming of being an astronaut, or watching TV, hanging out with friends, clubbing, doing adventure activities? So everyone has their own fun thing. So let's have our shares now. Pallavi, would you like to go?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I love the way the author said the choices of anybody can be different. What bring happiness to me might not bring happiness to other, and how beautifully he added to it. Mm, uh, कि मतलब the thing that he was afraid of मतलब accepting that the fairy tales fairy tale that he didn't want anybody to know that he had fun of reading the fairy tales. Now he had no fear in accepting and saying boldly that yes, he loves to read the fairy tales. So this is the maturity we learn with the phase of life, and the ikigai also tell us that the secret of happiness is to do really what you love. So if you find the love in reading the kid's story, then we should find the way and see how beautifully he got the idea of creating a literacy club where all the children's books were read, and not only that, the dinner was also accompanied by the favorite dishes that were mentioned in the books. So I love that way, and yeah, this is to keep ourselves happy is to live the life we love without being afraid of what the other people would say. That's all. Be natural and be truthful to yourself. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes, very well said, Pallavi. Thank you for your share. Would anyone like to go next? Who would like to go next? Somita said, I saw your name.
Yes, yes, yes. Hi, good morning. Wonderful. Today is my first day. So we have started the book from today itself.
No, Somita. This book, no,
Okay.
we are reading only 2 or 3 days a month, usually at the end or beginning of a month. So,
Oh, is
because
it?
the book
Okay.
is written in that manner, it seems.
Okay.
January, you do certain things. It's like a book of
Okay.
resolution. Every
Huh.
month, you fulfill a set of resolutions.
Huh,
So,
I
it
got it.
begins,
I got it. But what I wanted to know is, did we
May
started
we
this
are
setting
started
up?
today.
Okay, yes, yes. That's what I wanted to know that, the start of May. Okay, so that I'm
Mm.
not lagging behind. Though I joined at 7:32, but still, because morning's a little hectic, but somehow while walking, I was able to hear certain wisdom, which people have read about it. And what I can connect with it, that everyone should have a growth space in our house. For example, we have a dining area, we have a puja room, we have a bedrooms, kitchen. So if we have a growth space, that will give, because our soul is basically caged in a body, and the very nature of a soul is to expand. Now, in this book, when he said that whatever the quotes he liked it, he used to write it and paste it, right? What I understood it. So that part of the book really liked me or took my attention, because whatever, out of sight, out of mind, you might have heard it. So if something gives you a very happy moments or aha moments, whether it could be your photographs, whether it could be some quotes, whether it could be some painting. So these things are actually, when you are in your low phase of your life and you just simply look over that area of your house where these happy moments you have gathered it, now immediately you can shift your emotions from the low phase to higher. So this part of the this attracted me a lot. That's all from my end. Thank you so much, and very happy to be among such a wonderful people.
Thank you, Soumita. That was so beautifully captured. Yes, the noting down things is a wonderful, fun activity. Yeah, Anjali, I see you have joined just now, but you can just have your share too, talking about what constitutes fun for you. How do you look at fun, and how do you have your fun activity by being yourself? Uh, yeah, anyone, even Richa, you can go ahead. Manishi, Mansi, anyone, whoever wants, please go ahead.
So, oh yeah, Anjali, go on, go on.
No. I was just saying good morning, everyone. I joined late. Let everyone speak. I'll join from tomorrow. I wanted to see what happens in this session. So that's why I'm already very late. Let me on the
It
listening.
doesn't matter. You can just tell what is
I'll
fun for you.
I'll give my
Oh, yeah.
contributions from tomorrow. Okay, let others
Okay,
speak.
okay, no problem. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Mansi, are you going next?
I think Maniji also wants to speak. Maniji, you want to go first?
Yeah, please, Manish ji, please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, all. Actually, today's reading, it was my insight is that the author is trying to emphasize that there is no limitation in life, and it is your own thinking and what you love to do and what you are passionate about, and put your uh, heart soul in that activity, and things will happen. And just like we should always uh, love what we do so that we can uh, get to our true self and just get the best out of it. And uh, in our true self there is no doubt about ourselves. The only limitation is our thinking, like uh, is if we limit ourselves to something, that is the only limit we have. Otherwise, in our true nature there is no limit. We should just follow our intention with attention and with full passion, and things will happen. And as I always say that the our source of energy is same, so there is no limitation in our life. It is only our limited beliefs, basically. So just open your beliefs and live life like a sun, because we are the source of energy is same. So I think that is where the author tried to explain in a simple way. But frankly, I didn't find it very deep inside today. Just sharing my thought. Yeah.
Thank
Thank.
you, Manish ji. Yeah. I guess the whole concept of today is things need not be very profound. Even the basic, simple things in life, that if it gives us joy and we are able to have fun, that is good enough. So it can be, need not be very, very profound and very deep. So we are just supposed to enjoy life the way we feel good about it. So May is, I guess, she put May here, probably because it's summer in the northern hemisphere, and maybe in some places it's also holiday time, vacation time. We get little nostalgic about our childhood and the fun we have had. Uh, so we should continue to have that childlike fun in us. Uh, Things need not be all the time, very deep. So I guess that's what the idea is today. Would anyone like to give their share? Richa?
Yeah. I can add a little bit.
Yeah, Mansi,
How
thank you.
long are we going to go, Deepa? Like just because it's
Now
eight
it is
o'clock, so
8:01 now. Would you like to go for another 5 minutes? As everyone having another 5 minutes? You and Richa can go ahead, and then if you want, and then we can maybe wind up.
Sure, sure. Yeah, no problem. I just wanted to check so that I keep my talking short accordingly. So yeah, so what for me, I'm liking how the book is syncing with my personal priorities a lot, because every month the theme that is coming up, I had kept it open for me when we started in Jan Feb, like that I will be free to change the theme if that is not aligning with what I have as priority for myself in that particular month. But somehow, at least up until now, the book is very much in sync with my personal priorities. Like last month it was parenting, and I was all about giving my daughter a priority because it was her exams, and then vacation started and all of that. And now in the month of May, it is again I have this plans of exploring some art forms that I have already enrolled in and all of that. So it is so much fun, and play is also one of my priority this month. I have already decided to explore that. So this book is coming in perfect sync with that. So what I realized while we were reading this book today and the things about her childhood and all, so I could relate with so many things. And even when I reflect back, I don't remember a lot of things. Like what did I do as a child? I don't remember, because I most of my childhood life was spent with adults, as I was the only child. And I had my uncles and my granny and all taking care of me and my parents. So I remember I started, even reading was not on my plate then, because that was never a hobby as a child. And it came into my life, I think, when I was a teenager or something. So I remember Enid Blyton books and Nancy Drew books that I read at that point of time. So I honestly have no idea of this, any of the names that they have suggested, except Harry Potter or maybe one or two others. I have no clue about the other books that she mentioned. And I would really want to explore that for myself as well as for my daughter, because I've never read them. Or maybe if anyone can suggest any of such books, I think it would be so much fun, right? Like that was the idea behind encouraging everyone to take a lead so that we can explore different genres also. Because personally, I am inclined towards self-help and spiritual kind of books, so that's how I keep taking that kind of books, and creativity for that matter, like just to add. But other genres goes unexplored even in our book club, right? Like so I was actually keen if someone would take up and explore the genre that they like. It would be so much fun. Like the book that you shared with us, na Deepa, that the boy, the mole and horse, and that book, that was so beautiful and such a small profound book, but I was never even aware of it. So things like that. So I am planning to do some art forms, some creativity, and just that is always on my mind, but I have never really put out myself up there and like given myself that time and opportunity to do that. And I'm going to do that this month. So it perfectly aligns with what I would want to do. So I'm happy for the theme of the month. And the way she's explained is also beautiful. Few lines about how she shared that we can actually, sometimes we think we like this, but we don't like it actually. And we feel that doing this and this will make me happy, but it doesn't, not necessarily does. So you will not know until you explore and you yourself engage in something like that. Is what was my biggest takeaway. Like just example, giving a small example. Yesterday I'm good at art, so normally my daughter is very fond of me wanting to do some art form or something, wanting to learn from me and all, and I normally am not very available for that for her. So yesterday, she wanted me to show her how to do some shading work or something like that. And I did some I just drew a eye in a detailed way and showed her how to do that step by step and all of that. Last 2 days I was just teaching her that. But then I realized, like, somewhere I'm not enjoying it that much. Just copying something from one paper, one image to another is not something that gives me joy. But yeah, I still enjoyed the process and going for it, and I thought I might love to teach this to kids, and because I found it so easy to do and it came so naturally. So I thought, yeah, this is something I can consider sometime. But at the same time, I also understood when I engage in it that this is not something I can keep doing. I'll get so bored out of it. So I just realized, like, and when we looked at the image and the way it was put in so detailed and everything, it was such a beautiful image of a, it was some cartoon character's eye. So it was so interesting. So it felt so beautiful to draw. But as we engaged, I did not find it that much fun. So that's what I just realized, that exploring and engaging things only gives you the idea that is this your cup of tea or not. And that is very important, and we should allow ourselves that space and time to do that, is what was my biggest takeaway from the reading today. Sorry, I took a little longer to express. Yeah, Richa, I think you haven't spoken, so Richa might go, and whoever wants to. And Deepa, yeah, you also maybe, you decide how to go and
Very
how much.
beautifully said, Mansi, and especially the thing which you do with your daughter. That is very good. Thank you.
And one more thing, just to add, I like that part of like, basically for me, it comes with my daughter when it comes to play and things like this. And now that she's on a vacation, she's all around all the time. So that's one of the priority. But I like the way the author has approached it, like having reading the children's literature for adults. So it's like I felt like this is also about embracing the child within, and we did not always need to have children and do children like things only for kids, but we can actually do it for ourselves also. So I really like that part, and I feel that's very very important that we let that happen. And that's how and that's what gives us the joy, right? So recently the workshop also I did, they had a lot of creative activities of going through things very creative, in a very creative and a different way, which was such interesting thing. So I felt like I might go exploring those. So it is so much fun. So yeah, that's what I thought also. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Richa, go
Just
on. Yeah, Manish. Yeah.
I want to add one thing that, as Mansi just explained also that, time flies so fast, what I feel is that, we should spend every day, every hour of life in very intentionally. Because sometime would happen, ठीक है यार बहुत time है, ठीक है, we'll do it. But, later we regret that because we miss something that we really wanted to do and we didn't do it at the right time. Basically, we can't live the same day twice, just like that. And I've read in different books that there is so much to ponder and there is so much to experience in life. And if we I'm just sharing my own experience basically. So if I'm just wasting my 1 hour of life, it means I don't really know the value of life actually. So whatever we do, we should do it very intentionally with the proper purpose. With the purpose should be full of responsibility, fun, adventure, enjoyment, happiness, because that is our true nature. And if we live with that true nature of ourselves, being joyful, happy, and that is all inside us, like nobody can steal that gift of nature from us. So if we live with that state of gratitude, happiness, state of mind, and do everything with intention that aligns with our family, our children, our parents, and the society. So I think that can we can with the time we can really get to living a good life, full of purpose, happiness, and like ultimate satisfaction. That's what I intend to do. So I'm changing my schedule. Like I just yeah, I whatever I do, whether I work or whether I'm relaxing or having some fun or something, I do it very intentionally so that I don't overrun on time, I don't overrun on my emotions, I don't kill my discipline. So everything should be in the right balance at the right time for a right activity. So I think that's my insight for the day. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you,
thank you. Thank
Manish.
you.
Actually, we can take up this book, no? The Lion, the Witch, the Wardrobe, Alice in Wonderland, The Golden Compass. They are actually made into movies. But
You know
reading,
about these
that's
books,
entirely a
Deepa?
different pleasure.
You know about these books? You have read them or you are aware of them?
Yeah, like Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, Alice's Adventures in
Alice in
Wonderland.
Wonderland, yes, I know. But the others, I'm asking.
Yeah, The Lion, the Witch, the Wardrobe, Golden Compass. Yeah, I've read them.
Wow,
Yeah,
great then. It's great
yeah,
then. Yeah,
yeah,
if
but like
someone knows
long
it,
time
it's
back,
not confusing.
long time back, and Little Women also, Little Women. Oh
Oh
yeah,
wow.
Louis May Alcott's Little Women. That's also like all a
We
family
can
of
look for
girls.
PDFs. We can
Huh?
also look for PDFs of these books.
Yeah, they'll be easily available. They are all classics, old classics. So it's part of, if you're doing your MA literature, it's part of your coursework also. Apart from that, these books were made into movies. Uh, so they are all very good.
Oh.
And I
So
love
I
this
love
blank.
watching movies with my daughter. Basically, my husband is a movie geek, and he knows so many animation movies, and he loves to watch them. And because of him, we have also started enjoying and watching them so much, and it is really so much fun. Even the Tinkerbell or so many other movies. No, he has a whole list of it, and they are so beautiful. They have really actually good messages to learn even as adults from. So they're very interesting. So I would highly encourage even
The other
others
day,
to just
yeah,
explore that.
the other day I read one quote, that the initial years of our life, human beings, we encourage children to walk and talk. The first
Mm-hmm.
couple of years, they are hesitant to talk, they're hesitant to walk, and we teach them how to do it. We work on it. We get them various gizmos and toys and whatnot. The entire society, family comes together to make a child walk and talk. And we enjoy watching that child, struggling through that stage and enjoying that walk and talk. But as they grow older, as they enter the so-called, the domestication period, the school stage, we stop them from walking and talking. That is one shocking realization about our so-called modern society. We kill the child in us. We kill the fun in us. We don't find anything enjoyable. And I feel more so in the old societies like India or Japan, people are supposed to be very serious, very profound from a very young age. And you're not supposed to look at life like a child. The childlike innocence, somewhere it's gone. Now, Gretchen here brings back that. That is when we are being more creative, more innovative, and we make life, beautiful. Just walking in the garden or just seeing a bee going into a flower, seeing the sunrise, that is such a beautiful thing. But somewhere down the line, we lose our senses of enjoying all these pleasure. Maybe the society makes it, maybe our competitiveness in us, I don't know what. So bringing back those small pleasures, is very important now. Yeah. So that is very important, and that the writer has brought out in such a beautiful way, beautiful way. And the blank book idea. Why should everything be always, full of, profound ideas and philosophies? You can create your own philosophy by using a blank book, by putting pictures in it, quotes in it, cuttings of various things. We can make a collage, we can do so many things, and we can make our own book, our own collection. The
Yeah,
current
even
is
I am a
gone.
fan of books and diaries, like blank books and diaries, and I have
Mm.
so many of them as collection also, and I want to use them for different purposes. So I'm a fan of that. I also like that one line where today it highlighted, right? And I don't know why, but I think yesterday itself I read it somewhere, and even today it came again. So it was like you can do anything you desire to do, but you can not do everything at the same time or something like that. So I think I talked about this with someone yesterday. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, this is that one line that came as a repetition, and I can because I'm a person who wants to do so many things. So it's for me, I guess. So yeah, even that. Richa, you
One
want to
thing,
add
Yeah,
something? You haven't
yeah,
spoken. I think
Michelle Obama also said this, a few years back.
did we talked about it yesterday? I thought so.
Yes, I
I
think so because yeah, you can do she had shared in that interview with Oprah that you can do anything that you want. You can't just do everything at the same time. So it took her time to realize this. And when she had said it in such simple words, and I had heard this few years back, it really resonated with me. Because I'm like you, Mansi. I want to do so many things, and for years I had struggled. And you have seen my journey, like even 3 4 years, until 3 4 years back, there were like so many things that and I was constantly feeling as if I'm not doing enough. But when I heard this and how things have come my way and how I have changed my mindset around it, truly helps. And yes, today's reading, like it was slightly in some different words, but Gretchen has put it wonderfully well as well. Uh, that and I think she says, if I'm not wrong, like she is saying you can do anything, you just can't do everything, or something of that sort. Um, so yeah, it's very profound and very beautiful. And for the fun part, what I would like to share from my personal experience is, again, for years I have been and I had noticed this pattern in me, I think couple of years ago, when I started, obsessing with gardening also. And I still obsess over it, but my approach has changed. So a couple of years ago, when I was doing gardening, and I wanted to grow so many things, and I went overboard, and I had caught this pattern that I like to obsess over things that are giving me joy. Because anything that makes me happy, I want to have more of it. And, although I think my intention was earlier to make it fun, but I was so good at making it into work. So any fun activity, I would do it to such an extent that I would get to that phase of being so overwhelmed, and then that same thing will haunt me. Um, and once I caught that pattern, I stepped back, but I also realized that it was important that I go through that in my own way, because even if someone tells you these things at times, you don't realize the gravity, and you don't even get to know what is it that you actually enjoy. There are so many things, creative things that I like doing. But when I did more of it, I realized that, oh, okay, no, this is not what I like. But gardening is something that is sticking with me. And even now, like, every day I'm spending some time, and I do spend a lot of time indoors and what I realized was I don't want to fight with all of the harsh seasons that we have over here. So I was like, since I enjoy gardening, I can do more of indoor gardening. So that's what I was focusing on, and I am still doing my best in approaching it with the idea of that this is fun and this is something I enjoy doing, even if it is um, I have like plenty of plants. I think I've lost count after 120. So I definitely have more than 120 plants just indoors. And I've stopped counting now. And I know that I'm obsessing with all of these plants, but they give me pure joy. And even now, when I am doing things for them, and I've simplified the process so much that now I'm doing the things that I truly enjoy about gardening. And I have figured out ways, but the only way to figure out that simplified way was to go through that chaos. So I embraced the chaos while it was there. And now I'm very clear. I also know that, okay, these are the plants that I want. And, I don't want to deal with something that's very complicated. And in fact, I ask those questions when I go to the plant nursery also. And the nursery owners, they know me, so they will tell me that, okay, knowing you, yeah, you will be able to take care of this, and if you have failed at this, then we would recommend that, okay, you go with this variety of this species. So these are just examples, but again, it might sound work to someone, and at some point of time it was work for me, but finally, it has become fun. The other thing I wanted to mention was, I am um, at times like horrible at planning some fun activities, because I do tend to get into the groove of, doing a lot of things, because whatever it is, because I have so many interests. So I'm also, and I had heard this in a podcast some few years ago, and that person had mentioned that she had done this experiment in her class with her students, that she called in the people for her scheduled class, and when they came in, she gave them that 1 hour. She was like, we are not going to have the class now, and you can do whatever you want with this 1 hour. And that concept of earned time, because you have not planned for it. If you knew in advance that, okay, you will have this time, you will try to fill it up with something or the other, some work. So what she suggests is schedule these kind of and not necessarily in a very predictable format, but try to put these schedule these fun times where you don't do anything planned, and you just behave as if it is earned time. So this concept of earned time really resonated with me. This was like, I think I had heard this in a podcast like 4 or 5 years ago, and I try incorporating this whenever it's possible for me. So that's all for my share for today.
Thank you,
Thank
Richa.
you.
That
That was
was
a very good.
brilliant. Wonderful. Thank you. So it's already, I think, 8:23, and people are leaving. So should we just wind up now? I just wanted to mention this in her follow-up book. She just mentions, has this quote, kiss more, jump more, and abandon a project. So we don't have to necessarily be, be very critical about ourselves and go back to being that child in us, uh, without the criticism lens around us. So yeah, that was our booklet, book last book. We went up to the semi-finals, and then we couldn't go further. Anyway, it was good fun. Thank you. So shall we close this? I'll just capture the essence of what we have spoken today.
Sure, sure. Like, yeah. And thank you for the leading this, Deepa. It was a
Yeah,
wonderful experience. I'm happy and excited for the theme of the month. And
mm,
tomorrow we'll be reading again so we can go deeper into it. Like
yeah,
we'll get more to discuss, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. And thank you. Thank you. I'll just stay for
Yeah.
a couple of minutes and then I'll leave. Thank you.
Okay.
You are taking the notes, right, Deepa?
Yeah, I'm taking,
Okay.
but parallel, if you also want to take it, please take it. No, I might not
I
do as
missed, yeah, I missed,
you're doing it. No,
I,
so we can have both the versions then.
oh, it's saying host has muted you. I don't know
Sorry,
why.
sorry. I did it by mistake. It like
Oh,
was
okay.
a mistake.
Okay, okay,
Go
no
on, go on.
worries. Yeah, no, yeah, Deepa, I had missed the initial, I think, 10 minutes. I joined 10 minutes late. So I might have missed few things in the initial part. But still, I'll try to capture whatever it is, and I'll send you the text, whatever
Yeah,
I get from my prompts. Okay?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and congratulations for making it to the semi-finals. That's awesome that your
Yeah.
team could do that.
Yeah, that was my first try and we did it. So yeah,
Awesome.
thank you, thank you.
It
Very
was fun,
nice.
na, Deepa? I was a part of it on the in the second season, I guess. And even we reached till semi-finals or somewhere near that, and then we missed it. But it was fun. And I
Yeah,
missed
I guess
that more than reaching the finals, I missed that I may not be able to play anymore because it was fun playing and keeping that score and all the way he has designed it. It's nice. Yeah.
I guess we
Okay.
are bad losers. We felt that one of the a person, in one of the team, he had an advantage because he was one of the person who helped Amrit in building the app and this game. So he was always
Oh,
winning. He's always the top scorer. He never missed any ball. He's always a sixer. So
wow.
I guess we are bad, losers. So I don't know what is the reality, but it was good fun.
Okay, okay, yeah. No, even I scored well. So when we were playing na, So most of the times, even I think you did, like most of the times they were like
Yeah,
all
yeah,
out
yeah,
of, and
yeah. When we are
sometimes I
focused,
lost
no?
because of silly mistakes. I lost 1 or 2 points. So it was easy. And what I did, like when I was playing, I like I did not like listen to it just once. I read it. I listened to it like at least 2 3 times, not to miss on some pointers, and it made it helped. And mostly the questions were also not that difficult as such.
Yes, true.
So yeah. Okay,
But you
then
know, it
thank you.
happens
Bye.
cheating as kids we do, no? कोई अच्छा खेल रहा है तो so that was going on, but at the end of the day, we became good friends. My circle of friends has increased, so felt
Wow.
very good. Mhm.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay. Chalo, I'll leave. Bye bye.
Yeah,
Thank you. See you all tomorrow. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Yes, have a great day. And
Yeah,
I,
same
I
to
will
you.
also I will just take few quick notes and I will share with you, Deepa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Also,
then
Deepa,
have a great day. See you all
are
tomorrow.
you planning to take the other book also, like simultaneously, or you wish to read that? I'm just curious because you mentioned about
Happier
it,
at
Happier at
home,
Home.
huh? Yeah.
Do you think we should
Maybe not.
consider
Maybe
that book?
not. That would overflow my cup. So right now,
No, no,
I'm
I'm not
going to
saying
focus.
you take it. I'm just wanting to know that do we want to take it? So maybe not you, maybe someone else, or
Someone
like
else would
because it
like
was
to take
for
that
9 months,
up. Yeah.
right? It's something like that goes on for 9. It's like a similar format, right?
Yeah,
So I was
9
just
months.
wanting to know. Can you just share the PDF if you have, so we
I
can just
checked
check?
it. I couldn't find it, Mansi. I checked
Okay,
it
okay. Even
yesterday.
I'll
I
check.
couldn't find it.
Okay, I'll also check. If by chance if I find it, I'll
Yeah, it is
just
also a
send it
couple of
to.
years old. It is not like recently published. It was published, I
Got it,
think,
got
2 or 3 years back. So we should
it.
be
Okay.
able to get it. I guess I didn't put too much head on it. So
No, no,
yeah,
anyone who finds it will can share through. So
yeah.
I will also give it a try. You also give it a try, and then if we find it, then we can take a call if we want to
Yeah.
consider it or not, like accordingly. Thank
Mm.
you. Bye bye. Take
So
care.
meet